You know, it's going to sound kind of weird, but I'm going to use a comparison here for anthology movies, and I'm going to compare them to, you know, practical effect creature features, kind of like guys in rubber suits. You know, as long as the effort is put in, even the bad ones aren't really that bad. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So I'll tell you straight up, I love anthology movies. They're just fantastic. And yes, I'm going to compare them to creature features, guys in rubber suits. As long as the effort is put in there, I mean, for the majority, most of them aren't that bad. You know, in any anthology movie, you know, you're going to get some of the short films that are just going to be banging, and then you're going to get other ones that you may not like. But you know, there's so much different variety in them. I mean, even if you don't like one or two, there's probably another 5 or 6 anyways in there that are worth watching and make the entirety of the movie worth watching, right? And this is the case for this movie called For We Are Many. And I'll tell you, I watched the trailer for this and I was excited to sit down and finally get to view this. It's a great idea too. So basically what they're doing here is they used Kickstarter to finish the production off, but for a lot of it, they just use their own money. Now, it is a smaller budget. You can see it in some of the shorts, but the cool thing is they're all original and they all pertain to this theme that they want, and they want to make this into a franchise. So, and they want to have like a terrifying theme for each individual movie, right? So for this one, they thought they'd start it off with the theme being demons. And I mean, who the fuck doesn't like a demon horror movie, right? So anyways, there's 13 stories in here by 13 directors. Again, it's lower budget, okay, but there's a lot of good practical in these. And I mean, it's only 80 minutes long. So, I mean, some of the short films in here are literally only a couple of minutes, and another ones are like 5 or 6 minutes. So, you know, I love short films. I love short horror movies. And I don't know how many times I've sat here and said, like, how many bigger budgeted movies or mediocre budget movies would be better off being a short film. You know, you can just do so much more with it. Now, having said that, you know, when you get to short films that are this short, where you're only talking like a couple minutes, I mean, you better be jam-packing them full of fucking, you know, crazy stuff, because you don't have a lot of time for backstory or character development, you know, and you have to watch these and know that going in and be accepting of it, right? But for the most part, most of these short films in here, I thought were fucking really well done. I'm not going to review each short story because that would just take forever, but there's 13 of them. Some of the ones that I did like, well, actually the whole glue that holds this anthology series together is basically it takes place, I don't know the era, but there's a king, and he's been betrayed by a couple of his knights. So, you know, just as he's going to get killed, he's hiding here, but then the devil comes in and said, you know, he'll help him out as long as you give your soul to me and pick a demon, right? So that's the opening of this movie, and then they go through this book of demons. And that's where each story comes from. And then at the end, I don't want to give what happens away, but you know, what he's supposed to do is pick a demon to help him out here, right? So, and that's what each story is. Now, it's not all the stories are from that era. They're all over the place, right? So, but it's cool, all the demons they cover. If there's like anything that you can think of, whether it be like religion or pagan or fucking, you know, even cosmic demons in here, it's pretty much covered. A couple of, I'll just, like, again, I'm not going to review every movie that's in here, but a couple of ones that I like was the opening one, which was I believe called Wendigo, which was pretty good. Night Train I really did like. I don't want to give too much away for that one because it's kind of a surprise ending, but it revolves around I don't know the exact term for it, but it's remote spying. That's what it is, where they get these people in that can project their vision into other people, right? And it's what happens to this woman when and what she brings back. It's fucking, I thought that one was really good. But my favorite one out of all of them was called Creek. And that one had, to me anyways, the best practical in it. And I don't want to really say too much about what it is. Like, you know, you'll see it in the trailer down below and stuff like that. But it had a really cool practical creature. And I mean, the ending was a smidge predictable, but it was still cool to see, and I really did like that one. But there's some good gore in this movie. Most of it's fucking practical. There's a little CGI in this, which is, again, this is a lower budget movie, so it's like, you know, like a blood splatter pack. You can tell, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know what I mean? They're low budget, short horror films. And I mean, for the most part, it was pretty fucking good. And there's some fairly big names in this movie too. It's not loaded up with a whole bunch of stars, but I mean, Lawrence R. Harvey is in one of the scenes for Father, and we all know him from The Human Centipede. I actually met him quite a few years ago at Shockstock. He's a pretty cool guy. Elaine Dietz is in this too. Now, you may not know her name, or maybe you do, but she was the face of the demon Pazuzu in The Exorcist, in the original Exorcist. She's actually uncredited in that title, but that's her face, and she's in this movie. And then Nicholas Vince is in this as well, and he was the Chatterer in a couple of the Hellraiser movies, and he was also, I think, Kinski in Nightbreed. So, you know, there's some recognizable faces in here too to help this movie along, but I mean, it's pretty cool. It's all original stories. For the most part, it's pretty good, and it showcases a whole bunch of up-and-coming new directors. So, I mean, I'm all on board for this. I really did like it. Again, not every episode or short film is going to win your heart over, but there's enough good in here to get you through to the end and really keep you wanting more from these guys if they're going to turn this into a franchise and tackle other themes. So I'm all for it. So anyways, yeah, check it out if you get a chance. It's called For We Are Many. And yeah, I'm recommending this one. To give it a rating, I'm probably going to give it probably a good strong 7. I really did like this. Again, I'm a little bit biased because I love short horror films and I love anthologies. And really, I've only seen 1 or 2 that I really didn't care for. I think one of the last VHS movies, I think it was 3, I didn't really care for those. A lot of those were terrible. But for the most part, when you get anthology movies, I mean, there's way more good than there is with bad when they come out. And this one is nice because it's nice and short. Like I said, only 80 minutes, and it just keeps the ball rolling. And I mean, it's enjoyable pretty much from beginning to end. So, anyways, guys, check it out. For We Are Many. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. And if you haven't, as always, go rent it. Come back, let me know what you think. And until next time, stay scared.